On August 4th, 1892, Andrew and Abby Borden were mercilessly murdered in their home, and all fingers pointed to their youngest daughter, Lizzie. But the question remains today, was Lizzie a culprit or an innocent bystander? The answers date back to the Borden family roots in 1800s, Fall River, Massachusetts. Lizzie Borden was born on July 19th, 1860, to Sarah Anthony Morse and Andrew Borden. She lived in the Borden house on 92 2nd Street with her parents and her sister Emma. 3 years after Sarah died, Andrew remarried a young woman named Abby Durfee Gray. Lizzie said that her stepmother married her father because she was wealthy, so he did not call her anything but Mrs. Borden. The girls called Bridget Sullivan the family maid Maggie. At 7 a.m. on August 4th, 1892, Andrew and Abby had breakfast with John Morse, Lizzie, and Emma's uncle, who arrived the day before the murders. Lizzie's uncle left the house at 8:45 a.m. and returned by 11:30 a.m. Her father left the house at 9 a.m. for his morning walk. It's assumed that Lizzie's stepmother went upstairs at around 9:30 to make the beds, but because her body was found on the second floor guest room with 17 or more hits to the back of her skull with a hatchet-like weapon. Lizzie's father returned home from his morning walk around 10:30 to find the front door jammed. The maid, who later testified Lizzie was upstairs at this point and opened the door. However, Lizzie's testimony states that she was downstairs during the time helping her father take his boots off in preparation for his mid-morning nap. But crime scene photos showed Mr. Borden was still wearing his boots during his time of death. Around 11:10 a.m., the maid heard Lizzie screaming for her, saying that her father had been murdered. When police come to question Lizzie, they found her story very confusing, for she switches her alibi and her story many times. Things like her mother was out visiting a sick friend, when she also mentioned saying she was upstairs, and upon checking on her upstairs, they finally discovered Abby's body. Forensics believed that she had died around 11 a.m. Lizzie's attitude during the investigation raised suspicion for police as well, who remarked that she was too calm and they disliked her attitude. During the investigation, the police noticed that a hatchet with a broken handle in the basement that looked like someone had just placed it there. They did not take it evidence until days late after the murder, and when tested for DNA, they found no evidence linking the broken hatchet to the deaths of Andrew and Abby Borden. During the trial, the exhumed skulls of them both were placed in plain sight for the jury to see, but no evidence linked the murder weapon to the crime. Poison was also ruled out. As Lizzie had mentioned 2 nights prior to her parents' death, the entire family had come down with a serious case of food poisoning, to which Lizzie believed someone was out to murder her father. Though nothing confirmed this theory, because the autopsy on the stomachs of the parents showed no signs of being poisoned. On August 11th, 1892, a warrant for Lizzie's arrest went out and she went to jail. Her trial went on from June 5th, 1893 in New Bedford to June 20th in 1893. Lizzie Borden was acquitted by a 90-minute jury deliberation for the following reasons. She did not have motive, no physical evidence was uncovered, and no weapon of murder was found. After the trial, Lizzie and her sister moved to a portion of Fall River known as the Hill. They lived in a house Lizzie called Maplecroft. It was during this time that Lizzie insisted she should be called Elizabeth A. Borden instead of Lizzie. In 1905, Lizzie had a fierce argument that caused Emma to move out of the house and never speak to her sister again. On August 1, 1927, Lizzie died at age 66 from pneumonia and was buried next to her family at the Oak Grove Cemetery, as was Emma, who died later in Newmarket, New Hampshire. It remains unclear today whether Lizzie Borden murdered her parents or was just a wrongfully accused young lady. Whatever the case may be, it's the most historical cold case in New England history.